that every time I come and work with you, I'm going to be present with you, and I expect you to be present with me. Hi, it's Jamie, and I'm at the Akhal-Teke Foundation in Lexington, Virginia today, where I've been working with some of their fabulous horses over the past few months. And today we're working with Tia, who is a great mare here that is early in her education. And what we're trying to do is just see if she can bring us her mind and stay present through the work today. So let's see how it goes. But sometimes horses will come in really close to us and we'll think that that means that they're giving us all their attention or they love us. But what can be really happening is they use their physical closeness to be able to mask the fact that her mind is really not with me. So you can see her mind's not with me, even though she's close. So there's a few things that I can do to try to get her mind back with me. And the first thing I'm going to do is ask her if she would just back up a step, because it's kind of hard for us to work together when she's that close. Give me a step. So I'm going to ask for another one. And I'm going to ask real lightly. And I'm going to, for the moment, I'm just going to persist in that. So you can see, not connected to me. I'm not upset about it, it's just where we are. Back up again. Backing up makes a horse have to use their brain and their mind, because they don't normally just go backwards. Oh, she came forward, so I'm going to quickly address that. Better. Now I'm going to do something different, like move, and see if I can bring her over by just moving. Yeah, that's enough. So she came in easy. I'm not worried about that, but I don't want her on top of me. So I just put a little stop in there and tell her she's a good girl. What I'd like to see happen is for her to just back up, getting there, without looking around, without her neck shooting up in the air, without a lot of fuss. I'm going away from where she's walking because I'm asking her to make a choice. Good choice. Right? And I expect that you're going to be mentally present with me. Most people don't really, I don't know if they don't know horses are capable of it, or if they just don't have the patience for it, because it does take a little time to get that going. But if we can just take in a few minutes each week a chance for her to learn that every time I come and work with you, I'm going to be present with you, and I expect you to be present with me. Do you see a difference from us doing this work here from what was in there?
Yeah,
she's already different.
Right.
Because she's more anxious out here in the rest of the world. So if I were to try to take her into the round pen over there, we're going to have a whole different horse than what I had in there. Because she was getting confidence from her environment, which is okay. That's why we started in there. Because I want her to have some confidence so we can build this thing between us. And then we bring her out here. And at some point, Pat and I walked her up there and back. That was a whole different world for her. Yep. So each of these opportunities, and when she does that, this is what I want. I want her to check in with me. That was really beautiful.
Hey there, don't get lost on me again, girl. We're still working. Again, I have to stop her busy mind and make sure we're together before I can ask her anything. I'm ready. Are you ready? Stay with me. I know. All right, you ready? Nope. My flag isn't here to threaten or drive her. I'm using it to ask her to come back and connect with me. Stay present with me where we're at. She really prefers to keep her mind on the things around her. So when I use my flag, it isn't at her. It's more like snap out of it. I'm trying to break her focus with the other things so that she can have a mental connection with me, and then I have to replace it with what I want us to do together. She has a busy mind, and I need to give her something to do with it. So, girl, are you with me? Hello? I'd like to see if I can ask her to walk a circle today. But we can't do anything until I have her present enough to even present another idea. So I'm staying busy too. I move around, ask her for backup, all to help her decide that it's better for her to let go of the distractions and get her mind centered here with me. So I do have a plan, but I have to divert it to work with what's actually happening. I've lost her mind, and nothing of quality will come until we get a change. Asking her to back hasn't made a change, so I'm trying something different. And that got a little reaction. So here I asked if they could tell why she reacted that way, and indeed, they completely understood that when I snuck around behind her because she wasn't aware of me, that flag shocked her. That flag wasn't going to threaten her, but it taught her that you have to stay present and pay attention. Good girl. She had other more important things than me on her mind at that moment. But what I'd like her to learn is that I am pretty important, and she should pay attention to where I'm at. She's beginning to think maybe I am important, but still her mind comes in and goes out. You can see it's starting to improve a little bit. But here there's a delay with her mind following along with me. There we go. Her busy mind is constantly checking in and checking out, so I get busy too. Keep moving in order to have her have to think and stay with me. Notice when I go to walk around her again, she doesn't let me get behind her without some adjusting. She doesn't like it much, but it's a start. Tia has not been expected to let go of her own thoughts to connect with a human, so it's going to take some time. But girl, you got to get your mind in the classroom so we can get some things done. She's starting to see that being present with the human's not a bad deal. And these little changes are actually huge.
Anytime a video is shot live and in the wild, there's room for imperfections. There's sound imperfections and lighting imperfections, and the horse doesn't always stay on script. But I hope that video helped you get some ideas on how I would work with a horse that's early in her journey. I've only had 5 to 10 sessions with her. They've been spread out by at least a week in between each time, and only about 15 minutes. But still, even that short amount of time is going to lay a groundwork where we can do a lot together in the time we have, because the mental connection will be established. I hope you look at your horsemanship journey as more of a process and an exploration than a training program. Even so, I gave 3 ideas on how you might consider working on connection with a horse, and I'll go over them right now to review. The first one I talked about was asking the horse for a backup. And it's not about the backup, it's about asking the horse to have to execute something that takes thought. It's getting to that mind before the feet. The reason a backup is so good for that is because it's not usually a horse's natural reaction to back up. So if I ask a horse to back up, most of the time they do have to engage their brain. And that is a starting point for getting them to engage it with me. The second one that I talked about was moving. It's very helpful when we're working with a horse and they're distracted to just change positions. And I also recommend that if the horse is looking off one direction, then you change your position the other direction. That has to bring the horse's attention away from what they're looking at to check out what you're doing. And that's more effective than if you try to move with the horse into the field of vision of what they're already trying to look at. The third thing we talked about was to create an indirect environmental disturbance. And that I did with my flag, which is my favorite tool for making a lot of ruckus. However, you could use the end of your lead rope. Sometimes I'll hit it on my vest, the popper end of it, sometimes my chaps or my shoe. I've seen people slap their leg to make a noise. you can really get creative with this, with whatever you have on hand to make a noise. Sometimes I'll even scratch. The sound of my vest will just be enough to make them look at what is that. And that's what an environmental disturbance is about. It's the most important thing is not to direct it at the horse. So when I use my flag, I don't direct it at the horse. I use the flag next to me in a way that is disturbing to them enough that they have to get kind of snapped out of what they are focused on to check in and see what that was. But they don't feel that they're being threatened or punished or ambushed directly by it. That's why it's an indirect disturbance. That can be a really powerful tool, especially if the horse is really distracted or really committed to the other thing and not to connecting with you. Well, at Hope Horsemanship, we are not only about educational opportunities, but about forming community, and we would love to have you join us. You can find us at hopehorsemanship.com, and the ways to connect in with me would be, you can send me a video that I can give you some ideas from a third pair of eyes. You can schedule a coaching at my place or yours if you're within driving distance of our home base in Virginia. And we also have clinics that you can come out and have a weekend with us as a little family group that we've been bringing together, and it's been a lot of fun. So, however you interact, we look forward to seeing more of you, and till then, see you later.